Hi, this is Adrian Corwell, October 28th, Monday at 3:55 p.m., 2024. This is, I know, not the ideal recording, but I have not found any software on Kali Linux that can record properly. So we are just going to use my phone and a tripod. All right, so this is for our iPro, Cyber Innovation Tech Entrepreneurship. This is the repository that I have set up with the script. It's got the script, the PDF, which explains everything on the script, the output log file that you will need, because when you're done executing the script, it's gonna output a log file that you can go back and look at, the successful payloads that work and the unsuccessful payloads that didn't work. The requirements txt, which is another, if we click on that, this is the requirements that you need to install all the libraries needed to run the script, and obviously wordlist.txt for brute forcing. Okay, but now we're gonna go over the Python script. So let's see. So first of all, if we let's clear the screen, ls. So obviously we have a folder, final project, iPro. You can name it whatever you want, does not matter. But everything is going to need to be in here. There's just the main script, the output log file. The requirements could be in here, doesn't have to be. You could just do pip install on all the modules. You don't have to have it to be in here. And then obviously when you're done running the script, you'll get the successful payloads, and you'll get output log, and then obviously wordlist.txt for brute forcing, breached creds, which is another thing I'll talk about later, and then that is another thing I'll talk about later. So first of all, to run the script, you have to do python main.script.py. That is to run it. This is not including all the options that we get. So the first option is going to be -- target. So this is the target URL you want to test for. Let's say, for example, we want to test and we enter HTTP your website, right? /website. That's going to direct all testing activities to this website. So that means that this is the primary input for our test. So it's required for every execution when running the main script.py. Let's talk about --wordlist. So --wordlist is a txt file containing a list of potential usernames and passwords, usually for brute forcing and credential stuffing attacks. So when we run the brute force attack, this word list provides the tool with a variety of login attempts, and it stimulates different user input combinations. All you have to do is --wordlist and then wordlist.txt to have that option. The next thing is going to be JWT. I'll be coming out with a separate video that shows how you can get your JSON web token. But this is you provide an existing JWT token that you want the tool to manipulate to test for cryptographic vulnerabilities, right? By adjusting elements within the token, the framework can reveal weaknesses in how authentication data is verified or even maybe validated, right? So it'd be www, or my bad, --JWT, and then let's say my JWT token. Obviously it's not gonna be like that, it's gonna be like a hash, but yeah. Next thing would be -- proxy. This option lets you set a specific proxy, such as, let's say, a typical domain, like one that you are hosting on port 8080, right? Using a proxy is essential for routing traffic, right, through, let's say, a third-party server, or even monitoring requests. It also helps for kind of network locations, or even analyze requests in a tool like Burp Suite. And that's going to be a separate video. How I show you guys to get the JSON web token will be through Burp Suite, because that's just the most simple kind of program you can use to get that. All right, this is kind of in testing, but auto-ml. So that when enabling this option, it will activate a machine learning capability to kind of predict vulnerabilities likelihood based on the previous outcomes, right? So you had to have run the script beforehand before you can use the --auto-ml option, right? This uses data from the past test to make better attack decisions and helps optimize and prioritize methods that are most likely most likely to succeed, most likely. --ASML-attack is the next one. This activates SAML, or also known as security assertion markup language attack testing. So it uses a single sign-on environment, and it tests these attacks, including methods like XML, replay, stripping, to identify, SAML-based weaknesses on the system. --Tor is something new. When we enable, so before enabling --Tor, in this PDF, it shows, it'll show how to actually enable. You have to first start a Tor server in your console before you can actually run --Tor. So this will route traffic through the Tor network, providing anonymity and IP rotation. This feature helps avoid detection and rate limiting mechanisms on the target application, but like I said, you have to have Tor installed and actually run a Tor server, start up a Tor server on the console before doing that. So next is, what do we got? --breached creds. So this will, 6 minutes, 45 seconds. So this will specify a file containing breached or compromised credentials. This is used to stimulate credential stuffing attacks, right? Where known breached usernames and passwords are tested against the target. And it mostly identifies weak or reused passwords within the system. So that system is not up to date and uses default credentials. It is kind of in trouble. So the next thing will be --MFA bypass. So obviously MFA is multi-factor authentication, right? A secondary security layer. This option tests for potential MFA bypass methods, such as guessing backup codes or even testing weaknesses in MFA implementation. This option only activates if the tool detects an MFA requirement during a login. So you can do that for, when running the script, but it's not necessarily going to run unless it detects the login. So --rate limit, I think it's delay, yeah. So this option sets the custom delay that's going to be in seconds between each login attempt, right? This is designed to avoid triggering the target's rate limiting protection. So for instance, let's say we do --rate limit 5, right? 5 seconds. This would insert a pause between each login attempt, which is 5 seconds, making detection harder and allowing for, low frequency password spraying. That's kind of it about, the options you have for this script, but I will talk about more on how to get your JWT token and more about all the attacks in this script, and talk about more about the Tor option.